welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I am working on Mad About Mini Paper Pads. This is a monthly hop and we just use our mini paper pads, and this is actually an unopened paper pad. Well, I should say unused because I have peeled off. Well, actually I haven't. I thought I had peeled off the stickers, but I actually haven't. So unopened is correct. It's Fancy Pants. It's their Memory Lane. It is probably one of the last of their collections I have purchased because their new style is not my style. So I haven't been getting their things, but I really loved the colors in this collection. I loved the plaid and the flowers and the wood grain. It's just a beautiful collection. And then on top of all of that, I have some color cast pieces because I haven't decided which title I want to use. I have a Vicki Boutin stencil. This, I believe, is from Discover and Create. This is a set of new dies that I got from Peachy Cheap on their Peachy Planner side. I still order from them occasionally, but this is a set of rosette dies, and I haven't even used them yet, but I have an idea percolating, and I thought I would maybe pull those out and use some of the embellishments from this collection, which is why I'm bringing in dies, because there's not a whole lot of embellishments in here that are going to go with the photos that I chose, although the photos match the collection well. And this is just one of my examples of using a collection in a different way. Like I'm going to be doing cute photos of my granddaughter around her 3rd birthday. These were taken in 2017. She is now almost as tall as I am. I think she's above my shoulder at this point. And yes, I'm short, but I'm 5'4", and she's only 11, so she's going to be a tall one. And anyway, so I have all of these embellishments and things, and so I'm going to pause. We're going to get started with this and see if my idea actually pans out. I'll be right back. So I'm going to start with the stenciling for this layout, and I know that I'm going to be putting papers in the center of this piece of white cardstock, so most of my stenciling is going to take place in the top and very close to the bottom. And I'm just going to use this stencil and this Pinkfresh Studio ink. I'm going to make sure I get enough on here so that my pattern papers cover some of it, but I want a lot of it peeking out, but I didn't want to use splatters or any other wet medium. I just want the stenciling for this layout. And this stencil I can see becoming one of my favorite stencils. It goes with just about everything, and it kind of reminds me of the one I think that came from Sweet Rush or Color Study, that is X's and O's, and I adore that stencil. This one's a lot like that. It seems like I tend to gravitate towards stencils like this the most often, and so I just wanted to pull this in and use it here on this layout, and I'm pretty happy with that amount of stenciling. I'm going to start setting things aside so that I can go ahead and get some of this pattern paper. I'm having trouble cutting or getting those plastic tabs off of here. Usually I don't have to cut them, but those things were stuck pretty good. I'm going to flip through it a little bit. I'm going to try to stay on camera. I'm not great about that when I'm flipping through stuff, but I know I want to use the plaid, and I'm going to go back and pull in a second piece of the plaid. And I also knew that I wanted to use that blue, and I know that I want to use this floral piece as well. And so I just kind of pull out what I think I'm going to grab. I grab a piece of the pink, and I grab the black, because I think that the black will work well with matting the photos. Now I ended up with 2 of these paper pads. I didn't realize that I did. This one was actually a free gift in an order, I believe a Scrapbook Generation order. I got a free gift last summer or something like that, and so I ended up with 2 of them. I think I got my first one from Peachy Cheap, because I don't usually buy collections in 6x8, except unless they're Vicki Boutin or Coco Vanilla or 49 Market. Usually other companies I kind of skip. If I buy the 12x12, I usually skip the smaller pad. There's nothing wrong with this pad. I just, I have the larger paper, and I tend to try to use up my collections if I can. Now, of course, I have not cut into this collection yet, so this is the first time I'm playing with it. I know that I want the floral paper in the center, and so you're going to see me use my mat to get it centered. Because of the way that my photo or my paper is sitting on this mat, it needs to be at 4 and 10. Normally, if you've got your paper sitting on your mat at 0, you would use 3 and 9 inches for the middle on a 6x8 or 6x6 pad. But because of where I have it sitting on the mat, it needs to be 4 and 10. So you see me gluing down everything that is going to go on here. And I only cut 1 or 3 pieces of the plaid in 1-inch strips, because I knew that when I cut it off the edge, I would be able to go ahead and use the rest of it on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mat these photos with this black floral print. It's not really my favorite print, so I thought it would be great to use it here in a photo mat. And again, like I said, I have 2 of these, so if I decide that I like it better later down the road, I can go ahead and use it. There's plenty of it. And each paper pad has 3 each of each print, so you get plenty of paper to create a 12x12 layout if that is what you're doing. Now, usually I go to a lot more detail work when I'm doing a 6x6 or 6x8 paper pad than I did here. And the reason that I'm not doing that here is just because I wanted to try something new. I actually had another idea and it didn't pan out, so it didn't get done. I was gonna do some sewing of some hearts down the center, and I just changed my mind. So I did narrow it down to using this Sweetheart title from Color Cast Design. And I did cut out and make all 3 of my rosettes. I knew that I wanted to use these cute little bunnies on this layout. I've got 3 labels. I've got some mushrooms to play with. I end up using one of the mushrooms from the puffy stickers that you can see over there on the right. The labels are for my journaling, and then I have a couple of phrases pulled out. And the one that I know I use, it says, "I love you more." I don't think I end up using the one that I just set off to the side. I add that camera there on the labels, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick some floral pieces, ephemera pieces behind the bunnies. And this is where I pull off the mushroom to add the mushroom. And I'm pretty happy with what I've got so far. So I think I'm just about done with embellishing. So next up, I go ahead and I grab these enamel dots. I want to make sure that I got into them. So I'm going to put one on top of the camera on the lens, and then I'm just going to add a couple here and there to just kind of accent my rosettes and my embellishment cluster a little bit. I want to make sure that I use these because sometimes I just don't gravitate towards the enamel dots. I like them, I just don't always grab them. So I thought I'd better start it off right and go ahead and grab these. So this is one of 2 of my tins of buttons, and I also have some glass jars full of buttons. So I wanted to grab some buttons for the top of my rosettes. This is one of my favorite ways to use them. I am using the Perfect Paper Adhesive to glue them down. I used these on a mixed media layout recently, and the reason why I chose this is because it holds very well. All right, I got this layout completely done. I am really pleased with how this layout turned out. I love this collection from Fancy Pants. I'm not in love with a lot of their newer collections. They're just not my style. But this one is absolute gorgeousness. I received the 6x8 paper pad as a free gift in an order from Scrapbook Generation a while back. So I'm glad that I was able to cut into these papers and get a story of this little sassy girl. We just adore her and are so blessed to be her grandparents. I want to thank you for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you are new here, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you have any comments or questions about this layout, please feel free to drop them down below. I'm pretty good about answering them within 24 hours. Sometimes, especially on a weekend, it takes a little bit longer. And do know that I have a cruise. I leave out on the 15th and I do not return home until the 23rd. So I will attempt to answer questions while I'm on the boat, but don't count on it. But I will get back to you, I promise. I hope that you guys have a great day. Make sure that you check out that description box below my video. There is a hop list down there for you to enjoy. Just grab yourself a cup of coffee and sit back on this fine Saturday morning and watch everybody's videos. And please leave my friends some love on their channels as well. We all appreciate that. Have a great day. Bye.